So when I first got my Cold Steel holdout, I was really impressed with how much knife I got for the 7.5 ounces. Now, I'm a huge fan of Cold Steel, Lynn Thompson, Andrew Demko, and all those guys, and what kind of knives they bring to the market. And even though now they're under different management and ownership, they're still putting out some awesome knives. So now, although I was getting all this value and size, out of this knife, and the fact that it's so straight when it folds, it carries really nicely. I don't really want to criticize in any way because there was nothing ever wrong with this to begin with, but I kind of wanted to put my own twist on it and get a little bit more shape on the handle, so that I could get some really nice grips like you get on some of the other Cold Steels. So I took a Dremel and I didn't do anything fancy. I could still clean it up more, but I kind of like how it is. And I started shaping the handle, and I get a really nice grip right here. I could also choke up, go a little bit further up. I could work my way down, work my way down the blade. And here I could kind of get kind of like a pistol grip, which I like on some of the other Cold Steel knives. And it really works out for me. Now, when I took a bite out of this blade here, it may look like I lost a lot of that edge, but because of how thick it was here, I only lost about maybe less than a 1/4 inch of actual edge, and I gained a really nice, choke point. And doing all this also, ends up lightening it. And my carry before this is the Frenzy, just because of, it might not be the most popular shape, but this size carries so well, and it's super light. I really like what they did with these handles. They're just so thin, and this is by far my favorite size and shape. Not necessarily blade shape. I do like the blade shape, but just the overall, just the way it carries, and I wish they made more blade shapes for the Frenzy. If they made, imagine if you take this blade and just flip it, and that was a sharp end here, and that was a spine. But imagine it the other way around, so it had kind of like a curve this way. That would be an awesome companion for this Frenzy. And if anybody at Cold Steel is listening, that would be awesome. Anyway, so with this holdout, it is a larger knife, although it only weighs about, I would say, 1 ounce and something more than this one, but it's just so much larger, and it's beefier. So I started off by rounding off the ends there. I also rounded off the spine. It's not the cleanest job. I was just trying to get something that worked. I'm not trying to sell anything, just something that works for me, and I don't mind if it's a little bit scratched and imperfect. But what I ended up doing on this was I rounded over all the edges. There was no lanyard hole in this, so I made one. Another thing, when you carry the Frenzy, at least for me, it's just the perfect depth. And on the holdout, it was, it actually is, you end up sitting a little bit lower, and it's just uncomfortable for the way I carry it. So I made this little leather thing so that when I clip it, it stops my pants there, and then it actually only goes that far down. And because of just how I carry, it was important for me to reduce the angle here and the edges and bring it down as much as possible. If you look at the original, this comes out not a lot, but maybe, a little bit more, and just the angles there. didn't really work for me, so I took that down. So a little bit smaller. The overall size when this is open is a little over 13 inches. That stays the same. I didn't shorten any of that. And also when I was shaping this handle, I didn't want to make it too narrow. I just wanted to shape it. So I kind of kept the same width here and there. And when I brought it down here, I brought it down pretty much that shape here on the actual blade was there from before. So I followed that, and then I shaped my handle going back from there. What else did I do to this? I also rounded the inside of this, so it wouldn't bite. I even rounded here. I rounded this bar. And I'm gonna open this up because I did lighten it up on the inside too, as well. So bear with me, I'm just gonna open this up. Okay, so finally got it off, and as you can see, I drilled out a few holes here to lighten it up. And then also on this bar, this back bar here, took a little bit of metal off of there. I don't think it affects the strength, just for weight, just in case some of you guys want to modify your own. That it's important to be careful that if you're going to take any steel off of the blade, that you don't touch anything on this side here because of that pin. Now when this closes, it comes in contact with this pin so that this blade doesn't make contact with the handle. Okay, it keeps a space there. Now if you were to mess with that, then that would end up possibly making contact with your handle, and you're gonna get wear on your knife. So that's one thing to watch out for. And then also, as you can see where I messed with it on the bar, doesn't affect anything on the spring. These here that I drilled out aren't messing with any of the existing holes. I try not to get too close to the edges, and it was really tricky with this lanyard hole because you had to line it up between the screw that goes there, the clip which has these 3 screws, and as you can see there, and the edge. If I move this lanyard, you can see that I've got there a little bit more. So I'm going to put it back together. Also, in general, when you tighten screws, it's important to start threading all of them before you tighten it down. So double check these. You don't want to over tighten it either because it is going into aluminum, and steel is harder, and then if you over torque it, then you might strip it. So another thing, I drilled out a 6th hole here to lighten it up, and I think overall that's it. By changing the shape of the handle, I did expose some of the locking mechanism here. I think that in general, when on these triad locks, when they shape the handle, they try to hide this area, but you know, whatever, it doesn't bother me. I rounded this over a bunch so it wouldn't catch and scratch me, you know. But overall, I did make it a lot slimmer feeling. You know, I added the curves here, shortened it on the back here, lightened it up. Let's see where we at with the weight with this lanyard here. So originally this was 7.5 ounces without the lanyard, and then now with the lanyard we're at 6.655. So yeah, this was a little bit under, just barely under 6.5 ounces. So I managed to get a full ounce off of this blade. Now for what I'm using it for, I don't think I weakened it. It still feels really, really strong. I would have liked if maybe in this area and then this area here, if there would have been more space for where the hole is. But I'm working with what I have, and it still feels really strong. Anyway, if any of you guys like it, please let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Am I an idiot? Did I make something nice? Are you guys looking to do something similar? I'd love to hear what you guys think. And I do make a wallet that hides a knife in it that I sell on my website. And since I'm showing a knife, I figured I'd just show you. This is beat up, but the idea is that you've got some cards here, cash. You have another slot back there for more cards of cash, but in the middle here, hidden, you got this awesome Fred Perrin push dagger. I sell these together. I really like it. When the thing's closed, when the wallet's closed, there's no way you could tell that there's a knife in there. That's what it kind of looks like after being beat up. I also keep things in my pockets. They kind of scratch up. For my own taste, I don't really care. I'm sure some of you guys are more careful. It'll be a little cleaner. But yeah, check them out. I'll leave a link in the description. And yeah, back to this knife. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. And I really enjoy carrying it now, just being that it's lighter. It's got more handholds, and it feels a little more personal. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and you guys have a great day.